played so many different characters on the show, and a
Yes.
lot of, I mean, true fans know that. But most notably, you played Chuck Burks. Was
Right.
it something? Did it start that they loved you so much in the original character in Jersey Devil that they wanted to build something from there, or did you audition every single time you came into these different roles?
Yeah, every single time. And they started to write things for me, but I still had to audition. Like, I can't remember what the cockroach one. I can't even
Or
remember.
the coprophagus?
Yes, yeah. That one they kind of did with me in mind, and then they'd had this ongoing relationship. I'm sure you know, with Mulder and Chuck Burks, but it was always just on the phone. And then so they kept, like, the idea had been spinning around about how to bring him into the show, and then it's kind of good to just have him this mysterious person, and then they decided they were going to. And that's when they thought, oh, well, that's, Bill is who we need to play that part. So that was just kind of how it happened. But it was fun. I mean, I had so much fun doing all those other shows. And I would talk to, various actors, and they'd say, oh, the X-Files, they never use you more than once. And I went, yeah, they do. They use you all the time.
We love.
Did you have a favorite part about playing Chuck?
I loved, I mean, it's kind of, it kind of evolved now, and this is going to seem a bit weird, but it's similar to what I was doing on Stargate, when I was playing Dr. Lee. It's like these guys that just love their science stuff, and they're so passionate about it, and they're a little bit naive about the rest of their presentation because they get so into the thing that they're doing. And so that was one of the fun things about Chuck, and to be able to find the delight and the passion that he had about all these different aspects and things. And it was great fun, the old, doing the green screen of the traveling in India and stuff, and having that kind of hippie background, that was hilarious. I loved that when they came up with that one. So
now, you between Stargate and the X-Files, obviously you're saying you had a lot of science that you had, and you always came off as if you were a scientist and knew your stuff. Did you have any background in it? I mean, is this something that, I mean, I see a lot of books behind you, very learned man. Or how did you go about preparing for that? Because that's not easy stuff.
Well, I have a great curiosity, and I have since these shows, I went back to school just because I was a little bored and wanted to do some stuff. So I've done some graduate work since then, and now I'm teaching at a university. So I certainly have a thirst and a curiosity for all of that. But no, it's just a matter of, and I got to say, the writers, if they make the stuff make sense, they do a lot of research, they do a lot of work, and they get the science right, and then it's just up to me to follow the story and make it so it sounds, so that other people can take it in and apprehend it, which I think is kind of the same thing for real scientists, because their task is to make people understand what they're talking about.
Yeah. When I listen to my sister, I say that she's a scientist, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been in more than a few X-Files episodes. Do you have a favorite memory on set that you could share with us?
One of my favorites was, after it relocated to Los Angeles, and the Hollywood AD show, that because David was directing it, and he was he was full of his usual hijinks, and it was one of the funnest things. And there was a lot of scenes with just he and Jillian and I, and we just played, and that was great. That was a real fun one.
What is your favorite episode? So Hollywood AD falls into that category.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I also liked the I mean, the different ones for different reasons, you know. It's always so hard. It's like, who's your favorite child, right? But
My dogs.
I like the Leonard Betts one too. That was a lot of fun, and it was, you know, it was the last show before the Christmas break, and everybody was cranky and just wanted to get out of there and stuff like that, and that just puts the pressure on. But it was a fun show to do. And then what was I just thinking about? Well, I just this on the most recent revamp, where I can't even remember the guy's name, but I was the guy in the secondhand store.
Do you still have nightmares about all those cockroaches that you had for?
I do, actually. That was pretty weird, pretty wild.
That wasn't CGI, right? That was real.
No, that was real.
So they just put cockroaches.
You know what? Okay, here's a story. Again, this isn't quite X-Files, but this was on Stargate. And why I get stuck with cockroaches, I don't know. But we were supposed to be in some Nicaraguan jungle or something, and they had these big cockroaches. And the guy who was supposed to be the Sandinista terrorist, he was terrified of them, and he was like this big kind of muscly guy, but he would go running out of the room whenever they let a cockroach go. It was very, very funny.
If you had something to say to the fans of the show over the last 25 plus years now, since 93, what would you say to the fans?
The truth is out there. I think it was a really cool show, and I really enjoyed doing it. And you know, I mean, the chemistry that David and Jillian had was just fantastic, and they were always very warm to me, and they just invited me in, so I was thrilled to be a part of it. It's terrific. I really appreciate it. Thanks for getting in touch. You know, it was fun, and you know, I love the fans, and let's keep it going.